Have you ever had a dream so powerful it changed your life? Imagine sharing that dream with your family, only to discover it would turn them against you. This is exactly what happened to a young man named Joseph, whose extraordinary dreams would set in motion one of the Bible's most dramatic family stories. In the land of Canaan around 1900 BCE lived Jacob, a wealthy shepherd with 12 sons. Among them was Joseph, the 11th son, born to Jacob's beloved wife Rachel. At 17 years old, Joseph already stood out from his brothers. His father had given him a special coat of many colors, a magnificent garment that symbolized Jacob's special love for this son born in his old age. But it wasn't just the coat that set Joseph apart. God began sending him remarkable dreams that would forever change his family's destiny. One night, Joseph had a vivid dream that he and his brothers were binding sheaves of grain in a field. Suddenly, his sheaf stood upright, while his brothers' sheaves gathered around and bowed down to his. Perhaps lacking the wisdom that comes with age, Joseph eagerly shared this dream with his brothers. "Listen to this dream I had," he told them, his eyes bright with excitement. But his brothers' reactions were far from supportive. Their faces darkened with anger and resentment. "Do you intend to reign over us?" they sneered. "Do you actually think you will rule us?" But God wasn't finished with Joseph's dreams. Soon after, he had another even more dramatic vision. This time, he saw the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowing down to him. Again, Joseph shared his dream, not just with his brothers, but also with his father. Even Jacob, who deeply loved Joseph, was troubled by this vision. "What is this dream you had?" he asked. "Will your mother and I and your brothers actually come and bow down to the ground before you?" These dreams were more than mere nighttime visions. They were divine prophecies. But at the time, no one in Joseph's family could understand their true significance. Instead, the dreams only intensified the brothers' growing hatred. They saw Joseph as an arrogant dreamer, a favorite son who delighted in the thought of ruling over them. Joseph's brothers already resented him for being their father's favorite. The special coat he wore was a constant reminder of Jacob's preferential treatment. Now, these dreams pushed their jealousy to dangerous levels. The Bible tells us they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him. Their resentment grew darker with each passing day. When Joseph would help tend the flocks, his brothers would mock him. When he would wear his special coat, they would exchange bitter glances. The once peaceful family was being torn apart by jealousy, favoritism, and misunderstood prophecies. What Joseph's brothers didn't realize was that these dreams weren't about personal glory or earthly power. They were God's way of preparing Joseph for an extraordinary future role, one that would eventually save not just his family, but entire nations from starvation. The dreams were glimpses of a divine plan that would take years to unfold. The story of Joseph's dreams teaches us profound lessons about family relationships, divine communication, and the dangers of unchecked jealousy. It shows how God can speak through dreams, yet how human emotions and limited understanding can blind us to his larger purposes. Joseph's youthful eagerness to share his dreams, while innocent, teaches us about the importance of wisdom and timing in sharing divine revelations. This family conflict would soon escalate beyond mere bitter words and angry looks. Joseph's brothers would take drastic action that would send their young brother on an unexpected journey far from home. But even in their attempts to prevent Joseph's dreams from coming true, they would unknowingly set in motion the very events that would fulfill these prophetic visions. The dreams that seemed to tear this family apart would ultimately become the thread that would weave them back together in ways none of them could have imagined. Through Joseph's story, we learn that divine messages don't always bring immediate peace or understanding. Sometimes they create conflict before bringing resolution, challenge relationships before healing them, and take us through valleys before leading us to mountains. In the end, Joseph's dreams weren't just about future events. They were about faith, family, forgiveness, and the mysterious ways God works to fulfill his promises. They remind us that even when our dreams seem to bring trouble, God may be using them to write a bigger story than we can see in the moment.